Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to our third channel finance video. And one of the big problems with asking questions in the world of money is that many of the financial systems around us are designed to be deliberately complex. And this means that when you're asking a question as simple as what is the difference between a credit card and a debit card, there's one simple answer you can get to that question, but then there's many more complex answers. The more you learn about both those products, the more you start to realize that it's not just a simple 10-word answer, but it's actually a fundamental restructuring of our society that we've gone through by accident to make these two products exist. And so today I wanted to talk about what exactly credit cards are, but in the form of the finance iceberg or the financeberg, where the more layers you get down, the more you start to realize how they can actually change a lot of things. But let's start with the surface level. I mean, if this was a 20-second video, I would say the difference between credit cards and debit cards is that debit cards take money from your account and credit cards are paid for by the issuer and you later pay them back as well as interest. A debit card is connected to your bank account directly, whereas a credit card is paid off usually at the end of each month, although there's interest that applies if you don't. A credit card is paid off later, whereas a debit card is paid for now. Simple as that. That is the simple question answered right there, but it's obviously a lot more complex, right? Why would we all have credit cards, even though we don't all have a need for debt? And that's why we descend to the second layer of the iceberg. So almost everyone has a debit card. It has to be mentioned that almost everyone has a bank account in the modern day and age, and almost every bank account is accessed by an ATM card or a debit card of some form. Everyone has a debit card as a financial product, and so it's not a very interesting one, and they don't need to lure you in as much. However, credit cards are a much more complex financial product where, again, not everyone thinks they need debt until they do need it, and so how do you lure in people who can have access to it now and maybe start using it later? And that is where the twist of credit cards comes from. Because, again, if a credit card is just a debt card, why would anyone have it? And there's a simple answer to that question, and that is that you get some reward back in most cases. With the exception of the very low-end credit cards, most credit cards have some incentive for you to use them. Even if it's just as simple as you pay at the end of the month as opposed to right now, you know, there's no interest in that. It's just one big payment for all of your expenses rather than lots of individual ones. That's the smallest incentive, but the best incentive is usually credit card rewards. That's right, when you spend on a credit card, and again, most premium credit cards, but even a lot of free ones, depending on your country, you will get a reward for that spending. It's usually equal to about 1 to 5%, and it's usually paid not via cashback. It's not just spend $1, get a cent. It's usually spend $1, get a point that is worth roughly a cent, but can be redeemed for a variety of things. And this, not giving you cash is a interesting sub-point to kind of maximize the value you feel from it, but it's also a way to make sure that there's no tax issues. They're just giving you a rebate on a purchase that you made in an alternate currency that has no value, and that no value currency can be used to do lots of exciting things that I'm sure you see on the internet. Would you like a free flight to somewhere? Use those points. Would you like to, get some Amazon gift cards or a nice, concert ticket for free because it's just spending you're doing anyway? Credit cards are just better debit cards because the debit card comes out of your account. A credit card gives you 30 days to pay, and then they usually, depending on your card, your issuing, etc., then it usually gives you money back. The second layer of the finance iceberg is you would be an idiot not to be spending with a credit card. Every single pound, dollar, euro, Spanish peso, Mexican peso, or South African rand you spend on a card that is not a credit card is a rand, peso, euro, dollar, or pound wasted because you could be getting those rewards back. That's level 2 of the iceberg, but maybe it gets more complex than this. Because the next layer down of the iceberg, and the reason people will recommend these cards, even for the reasons that are below them, is that credit cards offer you protection on your spending. Like I mentioned in the first point, credit cards are paid for by your issuer, and then you pay them back later. It's like a friendly loan. It's like, your friend pays for everything in the month, then he bills you at the end, except then, if there's an issue of one of those goods and services, and you don't agree to pay your friend, it's them who's on the hook, right? And so the credit card issuer is in fact on the hook if you buy goods and services, but they are not delivered. This is called a bunch of different things, Section 75 in the UK. Basically, a credit card provider in almost every worldwide jurisdiction has to give you some amount of protection over those services. If you buy on a debit card, on the other hand, it comes straight from your bank account, they have your money, and it's as simple as that. Sometimes you will get protection, but it's not legal protection, it's financial institution protection. However, you can't sue them if it doesn't go well. However, if you're a person who likes going to court and making legal arguments, you will have legal actual protection on, say, an American Express card. Wow, look, it all comes in handy, that you won't have on your friendly ATM bank card. And that is one of the other reasons why, even when you don't have those rewards, or even if you don't care about those rewards and you know about the bigger downsides, you might be interested in a credit card because it legally protects you more. However, level 4, we'll just dive into it now, is that this credit card protection is free to you, right? Free credit card protection, free points. This is the, what is this video just trying to sell credit cards? And the simple answer is no. There is a cost to this credit card protection. There is a cost to this 1 to 5% cash back you get, because when you when you spend your card, the reason that they're able to pay you just to use your card is not solely because of these, it's not solely because of people who are making the money somewhere else. It's not this gift from the financial provider to you. It is actually kind of baked into the fee. When you pay $20 for a bagel, that seems excessive, but it's a really nice bagel. They have your $20 note, and you walk away and you're done. When you spend $20 on a credit card, you pay between it's something like 2 to 5%. It's capped at like 0.5% in the basically that a percentage of your purchase doesn't go to the $20 does not go straight there. A few percent of that goes to your financial institution. In the EU, this is capped at about 0.2%, but in other jurisdictions, especially the United States, this can go up to 5%. Seriously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of your purchase. That is 40 cents in the bagel example. This is a pretty hefty fee just for processing the transaction, and a big part of the reason why is because of these credit card rewards that they're offering. But they're not actually offering you these rewards directly. They're basically saying to a business, hey, take our credit cards. We know it will cost you a few percent, but you'll get more business because some people won't buy somewhere if their card isn't accepted. You'll get more business in exchange. You pay for these credit card rewards. That's effectively what society is doing. But then it gets a little bit, so it's like, oh yeah, there are these credit cards you can pay with. And when you pay with these credit cards, you get the business to give you a 1% cashback. In effect, you get a 1% discount to everywhere. It can be as high as a 5% discount to everywhere with certain American cards. But 1% is a better benchmark for people around the world. You get 1% cash back to everywhere, and the business pays. It's great. But here's the rub, right? Because you might have noticed, even though it costs a business, again, up to 3 to 5% off the 3% plus 30 cents is the usual benchmark. Even though it costs the business that much, charging the consumer to process this is actually illegal in a lot of jurisdictions. It's illegal in the EU. It's illegal in the UK. It's illegal in some American states, and I imagine lots of other parts of the world don't do this, and it's also just unsavory. So most businesses do not pass these costs on to the consumer, which is a big win for us, right? Yeah, even if you're not paying with a credit card, it's a big win. Except no, this is the next layer of the iceberg right here, because credit cards existing shouldn't affect you at all. I mean, why does it matter if someone has an American Express card? It doesn't matter in the slightest. But it does matter, right? Because if businesses can't pass these costs on to consumers, but they need to pay these costs anyway, then what ends up happening is instead of charging 3% to people using credit card, they charge a 3% surcharge to everyone. And they don't say it that way. What they actually just do is they add 3% to their menu prices. That $20 bagel becomes $20.60. The dollar slice of pizza, add 3% plus 30 cents onto that, and suddenly you're looking at a $1.39 slice of pizza. Very, very quickly, you can see how these costs just become normal. And again, the cost of doing business has gotten higher recently. And so credit cards, whether you use them or not, they have made society more expensive, because now everyone has to have a card terminal, which costs money to buy the terminal, and then it costs 3% plus 30 cents off every transaction committed. This is a serious barrier to doing business. It's a serious barrier to people who don't have access to cards doing transactions. And let's not forget about the drug dealers and the money launderers. It's so much harder to pay with cash these days, and that is because of our addiction to the credit card points. We love them too much, and it's a problem. And as a result, we've made society very card dependent just because we love that free money that the business has to pay us. We love this 1% discount to everywhere. We've restructured society to get there, but get this, it goes even deeper. Okay, so the bottom of the iceberg, this is really, we're talking about psychology here. This is something almost every finance expert will tell you about on some level, unless they're addicted to credit card points. I'll admit, by the way, as I say this, I like my credit card points. I have flown business class on so many nice flights for free. You pay taxes and fees, so it's actually quite expensive. As a result of these credit card points, it's incredible, but these credit card points are not free, really. And I don't just mean the business thing, but psychologically speaking, paying cash for something is like a human interaction. It's widely agreed. You pay cash for something, you lose the cash, they have it. When I pay $20 for my bagel, that $20 note is gone from my life forever. Wait one sec. If I hand you this $10 right now, this delightful Alexander Hamilton note, then it's gone from me and it belongs to you. It's not mine anymore. But when you pay with any card, debit or credit, you give them something and they give you the thing back. You have the same card as before. This is a do not eat salt packet. I'm improvising here, okay? These are low budget videos. Can we just take a second to appreciate that I have 2 camera angles at all? Although the second one makes me look fat because of the shirt. You know what? Whatever. So you get your card back. And so that's again, human exchange is kind of built on trade. You're not trading anything. You're just getting things for free from places, right? As long as the account balance is there. And then it goes another level that credit cards are psychologically even worse than that. Because a credit card, you give them something, they give it back, it's free in the moment, but then if you check your account later that day, it's still going to be free. You don't pay for that, let's use a simple example, bagel. You don't pay for your Alexander Hamilton bagel or your, Toy Cat video membership. Yeah, I'm going to call out my own things here. You're not going to notice when you pay for this mouse, because that's 30 days later. That's a long time. Paying for something in the future psychologically hits different, and the fact that credit card companies know this means they can alter your spending habits to be more spend-based. So they will make more money when you have a credit card versus a debit card, and even better than that, altering your spending habits to make you spend more money doesn't just give them more money on the interchange fees, but also, this is the conspiracy level sounding thing, but it really is true, making credit cards accessible to the elite. Making people know, oh, if I have a credit card, that's not me being in debt and being poor, that's me being wealthy. Look at this Centurion card. It's delightful. I want one of those. Why do I have cash? Am I a poor person? No, I want a credit card like a rich person. And so making it a status symbol where everyone can have it. I mean, seriously, the gold, the platinum, the, what even is the other one? It's the titanium, the Centurion card. These high-end credit cards being wanted, being sought after, being invite only, make credit cards cool, make credit cards desirable, and credit cards being desirable is something they want because enough people, there is a category of person that if you give them access to infinite spending and they have to pay it back 30 days later, they won't be able to pay back in 30 days, and that's no problem. It's a credit card. You just pay it back slowly over time, but the interest on credit cards, it's 20 point something percent. Oh, it can be up to 20. It can be very high percentages. Basically, it's the most profitable part of finance, and the only thing that makes credit cards not profitable is the fact that a lot of people won't pay, but those are the people seeking out debt. If it's people who get debt by accident, they will end up paying it. They'll feel like they have to, and so credit cards make money by seeming desirable, by making you want them so bad, by making you think that this is garbage and that debit cards are for poor people, and then you will accidentally end up a poor person paying on the interest payments. And that is the true bottom of this finance iceberg. An iceberg is something else. The finance-berg, if you will. This is something I think is a fun concept. If you like the idea, the police are coming after the executives now. If you like this video, please do consider subscribing. I really, really enjoy talking about finance and all of the things that can hopefully make you better off after all these years of research. There's lots of weird things that I realize, and I love communicating with other people. So if you enjoyed, just let me know in some way that I should make some more. And hopefully the YouTube algorithm gods favor this, because then I can see you all in the next video, which will be in like a week, maybe. So see you all next time. Goodbye.